All right, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jeremy Pogue, and I help coaches scale with ads. And today I have incredible guests. So Gellert has been a client. He's been in the program for a few months now, and today we're going to break down his awesome success. And he basically doubled his profit margins. He's built an incredible business that he's kind of fallen back in love with. It's really healthy, and it's everything's firing on all cylinders. And so I'm really excited to kind of take a bit of a snapshot of what he's been able to do, and he'll drop a lot of value as well. And kind of we'll talk about what he had to do and the growth that he had to experience along the way. So, Gellert, brother, welcome to the channel, man. It's an honor to have you on here, and I'm really excited for this one.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. And I really appreciate you and your program because it was life-changing, really.
Well, I appreciate that, man. So tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Like, who are you? What do you do? What's the offer? And we'll go from there.
Okay, let's start from the beginning. I'm running like an e-learning slash coaching business. I'm in a job search niche. So we are like serving individuals who want to switch careers, want to get hired, want to get raises. And of course, we cover some kind of career coaching, but usually it's more like a situation when someone is stuck in his career and want to uh, get another job, and we help them to achieve that in terms of resume writing, interview preparation, LinkedIn, and other stuff they need. So actually, it's let's say it's a done with you solution with a group coaching model. It's similar to yours. So actually, we have like a huge clientele at the moment. It's 195 clients,
Wow.
and we have weekly group calls. It's served by me at the moment, but I used to have a CSM. Unfortunately, she is not with us at the moment, but she's planning to return. It's some family and health issues, the reason she is not with us right now. So right now I'm covering all the service delivery in the business and also the sales stuff. But we have like an appointment setter in the back end, and also personal assistant and the marketing assistant. So they are helping my work, and of course, like content wise, operations and other stuff. But back to like the main part, like the business model. So it's a traditional B2C consulting slash e-learning company. And currently we are doing like 30, 35 a month in USD. And actually, since joining your program, I hit my record month. And also, it was huge because thankfully it was, I you helped me restructured the way I operate. And because of that, I doubled my profitability, and you made my life much easier, which is a huge. So thank you for that. Yeah.
Wow. Incredible, man. I'm curious to dive into that a little bit more. Like, what were some of the things that you did that you changed in your business to increase your profit margins and basically double them?
Mm. I think I just tell you like my first realization when I joined. So I think half an hour like after the call I had with Matthias, I just was in Slack and facing the reality that I'm making like less money than others, and others like crushing it like every day, all day long. Like the wins channel was like, for me, it was like shocking first. So it was not motivating, more like disturbing that I'm not even close to this level. So it changed my reality in a way that it changed my, let's say, hygiene standard. So I wanted to be on the channel. I wanted to post wins. I wanted to achieve the same results. So the first, like, let's say, couple of hours was disturbing, and also a huge slap in the face that I need to improve. I need to level up. I need to do things differently. So I think it helped me a lot because it puts me in a, let's say, mindset that I will do whatever it takes. I will do whatever needed I will follow all the advice. I will appear on calls. I will execute, and I'm not like just watching some content and after like put it somewhere else and not doing anything, because it happened in the past, obviously, with many other programs that I bought also. But this one was different. Maybe the price tag, that was the most expensive program I ever bought. So maybe it helped a lot to take it more seriously. And it helped me that I needed to make a return on investment, because at that time when I bought the program, I did not have the exact amount. So I needed to split the payments, which was a huge motivation to make return on investment in the first 1 or 2 months, which actually happens. So thank you for that too. And back to the profitability part. So when I joined, I realized that I'm in a different market. I serve Hungarian speaking people in Hungary. I'm not in the US. I'm not doing like stuff internationally. So my only chance to like hit at least similar-ish levels than others, that I need to raise my prices like immediately. So joining the program, after like joining maybe 2 weeks after the start date, I doubled my prices the first time. Actually, it's not decreased, it increased my conversion rate, which was surprising, to say the least. And after that, I just increased my prices again, like a couple of days ago. I don't have the effect yet, so I cannot like share my experience yet. But my feeling is that it will not change my conversion a lot. Maybe it will decrease, because right now it's a radical change comparing to the price tag I had when I joined the program. But I'm confident that I can like sell my program, and I can like give huge value with this pricing, because the other stuff with pricing that I really realized, which was also in your program, maybe someone mentioned it, maybe you, I'm not sure, but it was a sentence that the transformation happens when the purchase is made, not after and not before. And I pretty much realized that by increasing my pricing, I will attract better clients. I will help them to make better transformations. I will have greater results for them, which helps my business, which helps their life, and it's going to give me better profitability, which is huge. So that was, it sounds like easy and simple, but I couldn't figure it out on my own before joining your program. So it was huge for me, because it gave me the mental state to make this change. It gave me the urgency to do it, because I wanted to and I needed to make return on investment. So it was not like thinking, just execute and do it. And the worst, what is the worst which can happen? Maybe I do not do sales for a couple of days, weeks, and I need to go back and change back things. But actually it was not the case. So I think it's a huge result. So that was the first part. And the second one was interesting, because, you know, when you do like day-to-day business and you almost like cannot cover operations, because you are a salesman, you are doing service, you are doing administration. Of course, you have a team, but you are on your own in some ways. So you do not have the mental capacity to make right decisions and think strategically and see the whole picture. And because of the price change and the increase in price, I was managed to take less calls, because the other thing I implemented right away, that I showcased my pricing, which decreased the number of unqualified leads on the calls. So I did dramatically less sales calls with the same efficiency I did before with right clients or prospects at the time. So it meant for me that it's less work on my end. So I have more free time to cover other parts of my business, which was needed improvements and other stuff. So it helped me to give me like the opportunity to think more and see things differently. And also, it's not just the sales calls, the number of sales calls I had. It's also like other parts of the business. So when you see the big picture, you see the important things, and uh, you can say no to the unimportant things. It's a huge change, and it sounds like some basic advice, but when you realize that in your own life, the exact hours you work, the exact money you made, it can make a huge difference. And you only can do this kind of mental changes and shifts in your behavior if you have like capacity to do it. And I think that was the huge part, that by eliminating my own thinking and my own like patterns in my mind and just following your methods and the way you operate your business, it helped me a lot to like having results on the one hand, and on the other hand, like having the capacity to think through things again.
I love that, man. And that's so powerful too, because a lot of people think they need to just do more. They need to work more. But what you've done is you've added some leverage. So you're actually working less, but making like the same amount of revenue, but like twice as much profit on the back end. And I don't know about you, but when that happens to me, it makes me love my business a lot more as well, because then I can focus my time and energy on things that I actually really love doing. And so it's really, really cool to see that. I'd love to hear from you as well about raising the prices. So in the first week or the second week that you joined, you doubled your price. And I remember on our onboarding call, you told me that like all of your competitors, like you were already kind of charging like kind of around or more than what they were before. And then you went ahead and doubled it. And so I know there are a lot of nerves around doing that. What was kind of like the thought process and what was going through your mind when you were thinking about like thinking about doubling their prices, and when you actually did double them, like what did that change?
It's a good question. I think, of course, like I wouldn't be honest if I would say that I did not have the feeling that what happens if I fail, because I think everyone has that feeling when rise prices like double it, triple it, or anything like that. So of course I had that, but you know, I think I have the skill to have a straight face in a sales call, because I had like 5,000 plus calls, so I can manage to like tell a higher number. It's not a problem for me, and because I had the skills, I think that was the actually you just helped me to do what was already inside of me, and I was already capable of what I was not aware that I can do it. Maybe
Mm,
that's the right way to put it.
yeah, absolutely. Did it surprise you that your closing rate didn't go down?
Actually, it's rather disturbs me, because it means that I left a lot of money on the table. And that's the other part, because, you know, I was like following your IG for like, let's say, years. I think we participated some events, maybe VCube or Up Level Consulting or something like that. And in the group at that time, I followed a couple of like guys who posted like interested content, and one of the guys was you. And I had no idea. Sorry for that, but I had no idea. I had no like clue what you do exactly. And out of the blue, just one day you texted me, I think, on IG, and we started a conversation. Of course, it was like an appointment setter. I realized that in the beginning, but it was, why not have a conversation? And I think I ghosted you like a couple of times, many times. And you like hired a new setter, Nicola, and he texted me again on IG. And I was like in a mental mood that, okay, fuck that. Sorry for the language. So you can cut it. So I was in a
All
mood
good,
that
man.
okay. So I was in a mood that what could happen? What's the worst case scenario here? maybe I just have like a conversation, and it turns out that the guy is a complete idiot. I had no idea that I'm going to talk to you or Matthias or anybody else in the team. So I really love sales, and the best part of the business I do is sales, because I'm doing sales when I like selling my services, products. I'm doing sales when I'm teaching others how to sell themselves in the job market. So sales is core in my business. So I'm always open to sales conversations because maybe I can learn something new. And that was the mental frame I had at that time. And the reason I'm telling you this, because if you are not reaching out to me, I would never like book a call. Actually, it's 100% fact, because I'm maybe the exception. I haven't watched any of your YouTube video before, like booking the call, which was not booked by me. It was booked by your sellers. So actually, the only reason I watched the video because it was sent before the call, and I always prepare for calls. So I never go unprepared because it's a waste of time, and of course, it's like lack of like. Uh, how to say it, it's not fair with the other to waste his time. So that was the only reason I watched the video, and I like the funnel logic you share. But at that time I was not convinced, and the call, like the sales call, it was like, wow. At that point I was like, I knew that's what I'm missing, like in my sales process, and I realized that there is a huge way I can grow and I can move, because before joining your program, I was like average, always above like 50% conversion rate. Of course, with a shitty price, but it was over. And because of that, I never had like a realization that I need to like develop my sales skills radically to achieve something, because it was okay when I was like talking to other business owners, everyone was, oh wow, that's great. So I did not have the idea that I need to do something with it. But with the call with Matthias, it was like, wow, that's the one thing I'm missing. The call, just the call itself, worth the entire program for me, actually. So it was a huge thing. And the reason I'm telling you this, because the setting process, the sales call, it was already like a proof for me that this is going to work, because it's impossible to have this kind of process, this kind of value during the sales and marketing process if the original product is not good. So that was like the proof for me. So I was in a mental mood when I joined the call that I'm not going to buy, because I was kind of knew your pricing, because your previous setter shared with me on IG. So I knew that I did not have the money. I knew that I don't want to invest. Okay, here it. Let's check it out. But I was not serious at all. And the reason I share this, because it would have been much better if you reach out to me like years earlier, because I just left a lot of money on the table. So thank you for reaching out, by the way.
Wow, what an incredible story, man. Seriously. And I think that is really insightful, and it ties exactly into what you said earlier about like the transformation happens at the transaction. And I remember on our onboarding call when you and I hopped on that one-on-one, you said the exact same thing. You said that call with Matthias was worth the price of the program alone, because he kind of just like challenged you to, yeah, really just see reality for what it is and step up. And then, yeah, sure enough, here we are. So I would love to hear your perspective and your thoughts on the impact that the community itself had on your success.
I think the Slack channel is huge, and uh just facing the fact every day that like people like me like crushing it and winning the game, it's huge, and it's a huge motivating factor, because I think it's an Alex Hormozy quote. I cannot like say the exact quote, but the meaning is that your results, you will get your results based who you compare you with, or maybe it's I'm not sure the exact way he said it, but
Yeah.
I think many people think that you are going to be someone who's similar to someone who you spend the most time with, but actually it's rather like who you compare you to. And for me, I started to compare my results to the results in the Slack channel, which was like a huge eye-opening factor, because I realized that I need to do something differently. I need to do something more. And of course, it's also, I think, the live calls is a huge factor, because it's funny. I'm doing like a similar program, like in terms of like the skeleton of the program. But I made a mistake in the past many times that I bought programs and never like showed up on a live call, because I thought that I'm smarter to do that. And it was a huge mistake, of course. And when I'm going to your calls, like the call we just had like a couple of hours ago, it's always like a huge motivation to do it like harder, to move for it and to level up. And I think when you have like this daily dose of Jeremy and Matthias and Austin, it's a huge thing. So it can help your business, it will help your life, and it can help you to level up.
Love that. And that's such an important thing too, because like you nailed it. It's like the people you surround yourself with and compare yourself to, that affects your results because it affects your standards of what's good and what's bad. And so you alluded to it earlier when I hear this all the time. It's like when somebody joins, all they say, like all they talk about is like, man, that damn wins channel. It like kind of pisses me off that there's guys doing so well, but it also inspires me and really motivates me to step up my own game and level up my own standards. And then all of a sudden they do. And it's really interesting because a lot of the time, like that term gets thrown around a lot where it's like proximity is power and like your network is your net worth. But the more I spend my time with other people kind of at and above my level too, it just holds so much more truth. And so it's just so powerful. And so I'd love to hear some more about like kind of the intangible stuff too. Like what mindset shifts have you had over the last few months, and like what really changed about you as an entrepreneur inside?
I think I was just thinking about this before our call, and I think the biggest part is that I believe it's more that I am capable to do it. So I think I have more confidence in the business and in myself, and to just achieve things in general, which is, I think it's a huge change. I could not say that it's directly connected to the curriculum you have or the calls, but I'm pretty sure that the clarity I had because of the content, because of the calls, because of the coaching you provide, it helped me a lot to think clearly and see like the strategic vision I just mentioned before. So I think it helps me to really believe that I'm going to do what I want to do, which is a huge shift, because if you cannot like see something in the future, you cannot achieve it, and if you cannot believe it, you are not going to do it. So if you have like a huge conviction in yourself and in your capability skills, it's more likely to achieve the results. So I think it's a huge factor.
Love that. And speaking of that too, what is the vision that you have? Where do you want to take business from here? What's next for you?
Actually, it's maybe interesting. It's going to be interesting for you, because when I joined the program, my idea was to maybe start like an international venture, like the same venture I have right now, like internationally. But I realized that it's it's like a huge opportunity in my country because I'm like the biggest service provider. I'm going to like have the whole market. So maybe I'm just trying to. It's not like niche hopping, but it's kind of like this because I was missing something, but I couldn't like. I did not know what I was missing, and when I joined, I realized that I do not need to like I do not need to start an international, let's say, business in order to achieve the financial results I want to achieve, because the Hungarian market is big enough, and the market size it's more than enough to achieve the results I want to achieve. I don't want to buy like a private jet, a yacht, or something, but I just want to do like decent revenue and profit, of course, which is at the moment I'm pretty sure that I'm going to like hit 50K profit next year, somewhere next year. So because the way we started to scale this business, and the way I changed the pricing, and the way I trying to dial in the appointment setting process, the ads part, and the other like marketing you teach, it's a huge help to build on solid foundations and have like a more scalable business with better pricing, better opportunities. So when I do like 30, 35 right now, I feel like that it's an untapped opportunity, and I can like double, triple the revenue easily, which is huge because the changes I already made, it puts me like in a situation that I have like great profitability, because like ad costs are pretty much different, like comparing to the US. So just to put in perspective, maybe for the future viewers of this video, I pay like 0.3 dollar for an email address. So that's a different like part of the world. But of course, I can only charge 1/3 of the price like other people like internationally. So it's a different game. But if you can win in your country and be like the strongest provider, you can have the whole market, which is like huge too. So that's the current vision, to be the best and most strongest provider in this nation, Hungary. Yeah.
I love that, man. I love that. If you could go back 12 months ago, what would you tell yourself?
I think it's going to be a different answer you expect, because in the first part of the year, let's say the uh, first and second quarter, I tried out many things. I scaled like pretty intensely. I hired new people, but it turned out that it was not a solid foundation. I was like trying out new stuff, but it was no profitability, no profit at all. I was just increasing the revenue, but the profit was not following the revenue the way I wanted. And I couldn't like break this kind of ceiling. So I just scaled back after like half a year, because I realized that this is not the way I want to operate things. It was more stress, more work, less profit, less more headaches because of the bigger team. At that time, it was a 7 people operation, not like a 3 people operation right now. So like double of the size, the comparing to the current team size we have right now. So I just realized that this is not the way I want to operate things. And I had no idea how to do it. But if I could go back, maybe I would not change anything, because it was a huge lesson. And without this lesson, maybe I would never like started your program. So yeah.
I love that. It's so interesting too. Like for me, when I look back as well, I was talking to someone last night, actually. I did a little talk to, I think there were 13 of them. They're like 19 to 21 years old, and they're all just young
Yeah,
guys.
I saw that. I saw that on Insta. Yeah.
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 And I was talking to one of them at the end, and he was kind of like asking me some questions. I was like, man, like sometimes I actually look back on like the come up and the grind and how I got here along the journey. And I'm like, I wish I could like go back and not really tell young Jeremy to like to do anything different, but just like give them some encouragement. Just be like, dude, just keep going. Just don't stop.
Mm,
And so it's really cool to hear you say that as well, because I think we have a very similar perspective on that. And it's really cool
mm,
to kind of reflect on that.
cool.
Um, I know you're a busy guy and whatnot, but before we kind of wrap things up here, is there anything else that really just like unlocked like that next level for you? So for somebody watching, maybe they feel stuck, they're spinning their tires, maybe they built a business that it's not really what they thought it was going to be like, it's not as profitable, and things just aren't really moving, and they're kind of stuck and stagnant. Like, what would you tell that person?
I think first of all, trust the process and the results you have, because it's pretty much clear that you can deliver results for clients. So if someone couldn't see that, he's a moron. So it's obvious. And this was the, I think this is the part which is an easy decision, like making the logical decision. But if someone like a future viewer of this video just look to my situation, I'm in a very small country, 10 million people, like small market. I do not serve international markets. I don't speak like proper English, of course. So I'm in a, like, comparing to like US, I'm in a not a good place. But apart from that, I'm doing like almost the same results than others in the US or like internationally. And I have the same opportunity, but a little bit differently than others. So if someone is viewing this and have like a similar situation to mine, I think he or she needs to have the leap of faith that it's going to end up good if he make the decisions to start your program, because it's going to make a return on investment. This is the first one. The second one, I think I just went to like a 10x conference event of Grant Cardone a couple of years ago, and in the US it was in Miami, yeah. And it was like a very interesting presentation of Jesse Itzler. And Jesse told, like, it was like a sentence. It's still in my mind. Just just speed up the fucking process, man. That was the sentence. And I think that's huge, because sometimes you want to like think through things, like put it aside, like wait for a couple of months, try it on your own, and just speed up the fucking process and do it. And that's also like a huge realization of my decisions, because I do the other stuff too. So I put aside things, I procrastinate on things, of course, but we need to like recall this kind of memories just to do it and start it right now.
Incredible, man. Well, brother, thank you so much for coming on the channel. It's been such an honor working with you. It's such a pleasure too, because you're one of those guys who you just do the work. You put your head down, you make stuff happen, and you really just, yeah, you blaze your own trail, and you do what most people don't think is possible. And so I just want to say, like, thank you for being you, and like for just being such an inspiration for myself, everyone in the community, and everybody watching this. And yeah, man, it's just been such a pleasure. So I appreciate you a lot, man. And thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you.
Appreciate you. All right. So that said, if you guys want help, calendar links down below, booking a call, let's chat. It could change your life if you let it. So if you're serious about scaling, I'd love to help you. And aside from that, see you in the next one. Bye.